Still, Theresa May is harping on about police cuts that apparently she isn't making, but police stations in the past have been closing down, and certain members of the Conservative Party are obtaining financial gains on the closure of the stations from a small town we may never have heard of. Stay to the end and you'll find out which town that is. Bobbies on the beat are and always have been part of our community. They helped improve communities. Gone are the days when you could walk into a police station, tell them about a local scallywag down the road, and basically they'd just come out of their station and give them a clip round the ear. Take a look at this picture, take a note of when the figures for policing were on the rise, then take a note of when they began to fall. You saw the clip of Peter Kirkham on Sky that I posted in yesterday's episode. You may have seen it directly on Sky. He said it himself. This picture shows the actual fall in firearms officers. In 2009, police officers were in their peak, standing at 144,353. But by 2016, they'd already fallen to 122,859 in 2016. And with regards to armed officers, 6,796 in 2010 and 6,639. Still believe that Theresa May hasn't made any cuts? She says she's protecting the police budget. Now consider them figures and the timescale and dates. Ever heard of Ramsbottom? It's in Bury. In 2013, Ramsbottom Police Station lost its front counter services following cutbacks. Earlier in that same year, Greater Manchester Police stated they were looking to cut 3,000 posts, including 1,400 police officers, over the next 4 years. That timescale isn't up yet, but still Theresa May refuses to acknowledge these cuts. And then, lo and behold, in 2015, the station had to close completely. And here it comes. Who is benefiting from Ramsbottom Police Station being closed? A Conservative councillor by the name of Rob Hodgkinson. He bought the station at an auction for an over the odds price of $220,000 and plans to turn it into shops and flats that he hopes he can rent out to retail units. Once again, a Tory is taking advantage of our police force facing extreme cuts to their front line. And what did the residents of Ramsbottom make of it? Well, they said it's another service lost to the community. And I have to say, they're right. At the time, Labour councillor Joanne Columbine said, "We are all concerned about this as it is indicative of how our local services are being attacked as the direct consequence of government cuts." And Chief Superintendent John Rush, Bury Divisional Commander, said the inquiry counter closures will mean that we will no longer be operating a front counter facility at Ramsbottom, Radcliffe and Prestwich. And this was only a couple of years ago thereabout, just as the police force really started to decline dramatically as a result of Theresa May making cuts. So many people have come forward the last couple of days, experts that have said the force is in trouble, but she will not accept it. She is incompetent. The terrorists in the recent attacks, one of them Karoon Butt, appeared on a documentary called Jihadis Next Door, and we've all seen that. The Italian police made it known to us 2 years about Yusuf Zagabar, and now Theresa May is now trying to pass the buck over to MI5.
It does seem like members of your government want to blame the police, blame MI5, blame Jeremy Corbyn, blame anything but the record of your government.
The person responsible for a terrorist attack is the terrorist. What we need to do, what the police and the security services are doing, is working day in and day out, finding intelligence from all sources to ensure that they're able to identify when people are seeking to do us harm. We want to ensure they have the powers to be able to do that and to take the decisions necessary to stop people from attacking us. But we also need to ensure that we are dealing in this country with extremism. We have been too tolerant in the past. As Home Secretary, I published a counter-extremism strategy. I want to see people across this country recognising that the extremists are trying to divide us, and that extremism can lead to violence.
You promised difficult and embarrassing conversations with no tolerance of this intolerance. But what about the Saudis and this report that isn't being released? Amber Rudd has just said we've managed to reduce the funding and the links between the Saudis and groups like Islamic State. Have we? Do you recognise tough conversations required with Gulf nations?
Tough conversations are required over this whole issue of financing of the terrorists and the financing of extremism.
With foreign countries, with some of our allies.
We need to have tough conversations with whoever we need to have those conversations with.
Have tough conversations with those we need to. Notice she didn't say Saudi Arabia, because she won't, because she thinks we make too much money out of them, no matter what the circumstance or where them weapons go. She won't admit the cuts in the past were wrong, even though Mayor of London Mr Khan said the force could lose as many as 12,800 officers, which would reduce its strength by 40%, making it even harder to tackle the terrorism threat. He has also said the Met had already had to make £600 million of cuts since 2010 and is now facing 400 million more. This woman is a joke. She blatantly lies. She's not a prime minister and she didn't have a government. They are a party that lies, benefits the top 5% in this country, and they are using us as a commodity for their financial gain. Even the people at the bottom are doing it. As I said at the top, Councillor Rob Hodgkinson taking advantage of Ramsbottom police station closing, taking financial advantage. Just out of principle, I wouldn't do that. Me personally, and I really mean this, I would be asking the government, what the hell are you doing to my town? June the 8th is the time we can get rid of this corrupt party. She needs to go. Vote Labour. Give Labourers a lift to the polling station. Make sure even the elderly Labour voters can get there. Theresa May is making further cuts to our NHS, our police, our schools, targeting pensioners. She has to go, and we can do it. There is only one party, in my view, that can make this country great. Don't give Theresa another chance to rip a massive a-hole in this country, because trust me, you will look back in a couple of years and say, shit, what the fuck have we done? We have to unite against desecration that this lady is putting in our country, because united we can have a better society and a better political system. And I really, really mean that. Thanks for watching. We only have a few days to go now. Labour is a couple of points behind. Different polls say different things. Share this video to God and back. Share your message to God and back. This is your channel, so any comments, enter them below, and I will start letting people know on Twitter what you really think as soon as the comments come in. Click that subscribe button and join the fight together to make this country great again. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye bye for now.